How's it going? I'm Jared Gillis. Welcome to another All About RVs. Today I have a handful of upgrades for RVing. A handful of them are going to be really practical pieces of gear to be able to update for RVing or to use on the RV. And then on the flip side, there's some impressive pieces of technology that can really enhance RVing. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So now, starting off, several of these are really new pieces of gear. This is a new AC with inverter technology, so think mini split packed into here, and it's not the chill cube, which is exciting because we're getting competition in that area and better gear. That's kind of going along the lines with a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today. There's going to be more detailed videos coming on a lot of this stuff as we move forward, but let me give you in 60 seconds why an upgrade like this matters and kind of what this unit is all about. First, with this, you absolutely won't need a soft start device to upgrade on this. Like a lot of other RV ACs that have advertised that you don't need one, and then you get it on the RV and you actually do need one for a small generator or an inverter is actually the reality with this unit. Starting it this morning when it was about 24 degrees outside for the heat pump, there was virtually no spike. It just slowly ramped up. I actually did the test a couple of times because I've never seen one start with that low of requirement for amps. Extremely impressed. The second thing that they traditionally do is they're more efficient. So you have more heating, more cooling with less power demand. But that's just my first impression. You also have Wi-Fi on here. So if you wanted to be able to remotely turn it on and off when you're not at the RV, you have that function. Another thing for turbo is I've only seen the inverter compressor in the 13,500 BTU unit. They have a 15,000 BTU unit, but that doesn't have the inverter compressor. And the Furrion Chill Cube is at 18,000 BTU. So depending on what you need, you have different options there. We'll do a deep dive on this soon and compare it to other units and see how it lays out there. But let's move on to our next upgrade. Okay, so now this one's new and practical, and this is a hitch stabilizer. What it does is it solves the problem of having a hitch that's like this, and then with just a small turn adjustment, it brings it to this. You can see that all that rattle and movement is out of the system. So let me show you what we got going on here. This is the E-Trailer anti-rattle hitch collar, and it's probably one of the sleekest designs that I've seen for taking this movement out, and the easiest to use. And the reason why that's important is because if you have a hitch and you don't want to have that rattling sound, or kind of more important to me, if you have that cargo carrier back here and that thing's just bouncing around and rattling all over the place, that's a lot of movement. Or even worse yet, the bike rack on here, when you have those bikes on here bouncing around, that puts a lot of stress and strain, and I've seen it where handlebars are beating against the back of the RV. It doesn't look like it because there's clearance there when you're loading up, but then when you're driving, it's actually beating against the back of the RV, causing damage. So this fixes all those problems. And usually with an anti-rattle type of a device back here, it's something that you have to put your hitch on, you put that on individually each time. This is a collar that goes on there and it just stays on there. So it's not something that you have to mess with every single time. You just take it, give this a few turns to cinch it up, and it's gonna take all that movement out of there. Now, full disclosure, E-Trailer is the sponsor of this video, but this thing has been gaining in popularity. People have been pretty excited about it just because it's so simple, easy to use. Basically, you have these screws on the side that you can loosen up, and we can remove that from here. And you can see that it just mounts onto the collar of that receiver. And then you can just leave it on there permanently. And in order to adjust it and use it and take that movement out, you're just gonna tighten up this knob at the bottom. So once it's installed, you don't need any other tools. I think they're still on pre-order right now, but either way, there's gonna be a link down in the description. So if you wanted to pre-order it, or if it's already released once you're watching this video, link will be right down in the description. And E-Trailer, I love having them as a sponsor because I've used them for years. I love their company. I love that they have US-based customer support. So if you have questions or you're looking for gear, definitely check out E-Trailer. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, now this next one is one that I may not upgrade right away, but as some of my gear starts to wear out, I would absolutely upgrade to these. Retractable ratchet straps. So why retractable ratchet straps? For one, it's just quicker and easier. When I'm going to fill up my propane tank and I'm gonna strap it into the bed of the truck, these are quicker. The other ones, you always have extra strap that you need to try and tuck in or cinch down, so that way you don't look like a kite going down the road with all these tassels hanging off of it. And when you're done, it's just that much easier to put away. It's organized. You don't have all this extra strap in the bed of your truck. I'm kind of anal about that. I use Velcro around the ones that I do have. I haven't replaced all of them. I do like having these really simple basic ones, but for a quick thing of being able to strap down the propane, this is my preferred way to go. Even if I'm gonna have a milk crate in here that's gonna keep this from tipping over as easy, I still wanna strap it in case you ever have to slam on the brakes or whatever else might happen on the road, it's going to be secured. I was replacing straps that are more of the cinch strap rather than a ratchet strap, and I'm like, why do I even have those around? They don't work all that effectively. I would rather have something like this that's quick and easy to use. So, nice little upgrade. Okay, next one is a higher definition dash camera that has a little trick up its sleeve for RVs. Okay, so here's the thing about dash cameras and the two problems that I'm hoping to solve with this upgrade. The majority of dash cameras that are out there have almost all the same quality across the board. When you look at the dash camera and you look at that footage, you're trying to look at a license plate that's down the road and you're never going to be able to read it. That's problem number one. Problem number two is for the back rear view camera of an RV, I don't like larger monitors that I have to set up here on the dash and kind of clutter the entire thing. You get this, you get a GPS, you get the tire pressure monitor. Before you know it, you can't even hardly see the road between all of these devices that are up here. So to me, that's problem number two. So the thing that I am looking at and experimenting right now is this dash cam. This is the Wolfbox G900 Pro. It's basically a dash camera with a monitor that replaces your rear view mirror. See where I'm kind of going with this? So I just got it installed. I'm going to be testing it out and trying to get the second camera on the back of the RV. So that way when we're going down the road, we just have this rear view mirror monitor already there. It's not another big bulky monitor taking up more space. It's already real estate that's taken up by the rear view mirror. So if I can get it working with the RV, it's kind of like two birds with one stone. I mean, just look at the comparison footage between the Garmin one we have and this Wolfbox one. The comparison's not even close for the front facing camera. The rear view took me a minute to get used to, but it gives me a wider look than I traditionally had, making it easier to see my blind spots. And that front facing camera is definitely higher quality. You'll absolutely be able to see more things like license plates. So I've already made a cable to be able to connect it to the RV, but if anybody's already done this and you've had a great solution, please leave that down in the comments. I want to try and make a solution that's wireless and hardwired. I'm excited about this one. I have some details to work through, but any of the upgrades that we're talking about today are going to be links down in the description. So anyways, let's move on to the next one. This one's almost silly how simple it is, and it's just a toothbrush holder. And this one's 3D printed. I 3D printed and made this one. There are other simple ones like this that can mount to the wall that are on Amazon. I'll put links to those. Also put a link down in the description to the STL file. So if you like 3D printing and you wanted this little cheesy toothbrush holder, you could do that. I was gonna come up with a version 2, but this one's working great. We had switched over to electric toothbrushes not long ago, and we were getting ready to go on a trip and realized our other toothbrush holder is probably gonna tip over with these in it and not all that well suited for them. So real quick little 3D printed command strip on the back, and then it rests right in there. It's not gonna tip over. It's not gonna be falling out of the cupboard when we stop at our place. Nice little upgrade to our toothbrush holder. On to the next. Okay, this one is one of the reasons why I love Victron. They do stuff like this that just really impresses me. And it's the Android takeover for the Serbo GX. So it takes over an Android device, which Android devices can be really inexpensive. This one was $50. You can get them cheaper than that. You can use old Android devices. And it makes a display for the Serbo GX, giving you the information for the solar or inverter. If you have Victron equipment with a Serbo GX, this gives you that information and the ability to change some of those things, like turning the inverter on or off, or charging only, or set the input current limit. It's adding a display to the system that is pretty inexpensive. This isn't just trying to log into it remotely, because we've had that function for a while, but this is like it's directly connected to it. It takes over the Android device. So this is something that if we wanted to have a screen on the inside of the RV, because we left our main screen next to the inverter, and I know a lot of people like having this information on the inside of the RV. So if we just have a USB power inside where we have all of our switches, we can now have a screen that is directly wirelessly connected to the Serbo GX. It's pretty easy to put on. You reset the Android device, you scan a QR code, connect it to the internet, it downloads the system so that it takes over the Android device, so it'll be a dedicated screen for the Victron Serbo. So if you have a Serbo device in your Victron setup and you have an old Android device, give it a try. Check it out. I know it only goes back so far on some Android devices. It needs to not be older than Android 6, and I don't think it works on some of the Fire tablets, but this phone right here was $50 brand new. So I know you can get devices even cheaper than that. So nice little upgrade. But I think that's going to do it for today. Seeing some of the upgrades that we're going through right now and the things that we're working on. And like I said, more information coming out on a lot of these things that we talked about so we can do a deep dive into it and really do some good testing. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope that it helped you out in some ways. So as always, if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will. See you next video. Take care.